I've had a lot of times in my entrepreneurial journey, which I made a lot of money and lost a lot of money. So after 3 or 4 years of drop shipping, my business partner and I, we had to pay our taxes and we couldn't pay it. I remember we had to pay around 40K in taxes, and we only had 20K on our bank account at that moment. So we were really stressed. We were like, yeah, shit. And that's when my business partner and I were like, yeah, we need to make money quick. In which I did sales calls literally every single day from 7 a.m. in the morning till 11 p.m. in the evening.
How do you basically stop yourself from chasing girls and getting distracted and caught up in that type of way?
Of life. It's really hard, and it's something I definitely struggle with. I just want someone that is on the same level as me. Doesn't want to go out for dinner every night, party every single day, because I'm working on things for my and potentially our future. 80% of the people in my team, the closers in my team, have got no e-commerce experience, and we're all selling an e-commerce offer. Because with most sales jobs, it's not about the closer, it's about the person that you help. But if you just know the basics, and if you know how to ask the right questions, if you know how to close, you don't need to worry about if you are an expert in e-commerce, if you want to sell an e-commerce coaching.
As you said, when you're on the wave, you have to ride the wave. If everything's going well, just stick at it. So many young guys don't understand, as you just said, people message you, oh, what's the easiest way to make money? By doing nothing, basically. Everyone's kind of looking for a cheat code on how to make money. And anyone I know who has been successful, they're successful because they know how to grind, they know how to put in the work, they're disciplined, they stay locked in, and they don't get distracted. What is a typical commission? 5%, 10%, 20%?
For closers, mostly.
Well, today we have Levi on the podcast, which I'm really, really excited about. Levi is literally flown directly from Ibiza to Marbella for this, so I'm super grateful, bro. That means a lot to me. Me and Levi have been friends on Instagram for a little while. We've often even been in the same places at the same time, but we just never actually met. So last night we met for the first time, and Levi, his content is absolutely sick on Instagram, so I want you to go check him out. But he's a little bit of a mystery to me and to the rest of us. So I want to tell Levi's story. He's absolutely smashing it across all aspects of his life. And how old are you again, bro?
I'm 25 now.
Which is literally crazy. So I want to tell Levi's story today on the podcast. So thank you for coming, bro.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me, man.
So number one question. First of all, did you have 8 eggs today?
I did not eat yet today. I didn't eat
Fasted.
yet. Fasted. Yeah, I always do that. I always fast. I try to eat around 12 and noon.
Same as me.
Yeah.
So I feel like you've got just more mental clarity when you're fasted in the morning.
Yeah, 100%.
So you've just been in Ibiza with the boys. Did you party or not?
Not really. I went there. I was supposed to go there for a week. I only went 5 days because there was one big party that everybody was going to, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna have that one.
Which party was it?
It was actually a house party, but we were in a big villa with 33 people. So I was like, yeah, those things always get out of hand, So I didn't go there. I was there for 5 days. I only went to Ushuaia, and other than that, I didn't really party. I also didn't really work much, but I tried to keep it a little bit calm.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
This is another reason. I've been working as well with Levi for the last kind of 2 months. And I think from everything that I've learned about him, he's super disciplined. At 25, bro, there's not many people who are 25 years old can go to Ibiza and resist temptation and resist the parties. But you're building a sick new business right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get into all of that. But I want to start with kind of when you were a little bit younger. So who were your kind of key influences? And when you were in your early teens, were you the same as how you are now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was definitely not the same as how I am right now. For me, starting my own business is when everything changed. I think actually started when I started going to the gym. That's when everything changed for me. So when I grew up, I was just a normal child. I was pretty good in school. I didn't like school. I like to party. I like to go out. I like to play football. I didn't have any diet. I just had quite a normal youth, I would say. I started going to the gym when I was 17, and that's when things picked up a little bit. I skipped parties a little bit more. I started learning more about diet and about discipline. I started being super consistent with going to the gym. So that was when I was 17. And then when I was 19, I started my first actual business. And that was purely because it was e-commerce, just a normal drop shipping store. And that was purely because my friend had one. And I was like, yeah, he knows how to do it. So I know how to do it. And from there, everything got quite serious. And I just started that business because I didn't want to like study. I didn't want to go to school or whatsoever.
So you didn't go to university?
No, I just did like high school.
Yeah.
I did go to like a college or like university for 4 months.
Yeah.
And that was like, it's called hotel school.
Yeah.
So it's all about everything around like bars, restaurant, hotels.
Oh, really?
Loads of drinking, basically. Like
Wow.
we had like classes in which you learn like you have wine tastings and beer tastings and stuff like that.
No way.
Yeah, bro. So everything was around like just fun, basically. Like I was drinking 4 or 5 days a week at that studies. And that was at the period I was 18 then. I just also started going to the gym like for a year. So I really loved that. So that was like 2 things I really could not combine until like 4 months in the studies. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do this anymore. And I called my mom. I said, yeah, I'm stopping right now. And then she said, yeah, fine. You can come back, live with me. But I don't want you to be like a loser. Like I don't want you to do nothing and be at home all the time and just play video games or whatsoever. Yeah. So then I started like a normal job. I was like a customer support guy for like an energy supplier, like gas and electricity in the Netherlands. Did that for 5 months, saved a little bit of money. And then in the summer, I started my business. Together, actually, I started my business at the same time as I started the new studies. Because my mom really wanted me to study.
Yeah.
So when that business took off a little bit, that was after 4 or 5 months, I stopped that study as well. So I actually tried to universities, colleges, whatever you want to call it, but never finished now.
And then when you did that kind of normal job, was that in an office environment? Yeah.
Typical 9 to 5. I only did 4 days a week, so 32 hours, but it was a typical 9 to 5.
Like, and you were 19, 18 when you were doing it?
I was 19, yeah. Yeah, 19.
And you realized, like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I already realized that my whole life. When I was like 14, 15, all the jobs that I had, I never worked anywhere longer than 6 months. I always hated everything. I hated going to work. I hated going to school. I just don't like. I don't like it if I have to do something or if I must do something. Like for me, one of my main priorities in life or values, one of the main things that I value the most is just freedom, and that's in any sense of the word. So not only freedom of being able to live where I want or work where I want, but any freedom, really.
Same as me. Yeah. That's like my number one thing in life.
Yeah.
Is, again, obviously making lots of money and being successful is good, but like I think just having enough money to allow yourself to be free, to live on your own terms, like have your calendar clear or full, it's entirely up to you. Mm-hmm. Like it's whatever you want to do, and that just makes life so much more enjoyable. Freedom's the biggest thing for me. So when you were basically setting up these new businesses, were the majority of your friends all at university and just partying and stuff?
The majority of my friends were going to university. However, my initial old friend group, actually, there is like quite some entrepreneurs in there as well. Like we really have got 2 sides of the friend group right now. So me and my friends, we were the first one. But in the 2 years following that, like I had 4 or 5 more of my old friends, initial friends, my old friend group that also started businesses and stuff like that. So I'm really happy with that because I wasn't really a lone wolf, like which you hear most of the times that people like start a business and they're grinding like the first 2-3 years all on their own. For me, that didn't happen. I stopped school, the second college that I followed. I stopped that after 4 or 5 months. And then I also rented an office together with my business partner and another friend who was like very into trading back then. And we had an office with the 3 of us and it was like super, super nice, super fun. So I was not fully on my own.
That's crazy. That's sick.
Yeah.
Like, and you were only 19, 20 then?
Then I just turned 20 when I stopped my second college and fully started focusing on my business. Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I was talking to Levi about this last night at dinner. We went for dinner last night to Boho Club, which was sick. But like, I feel like Dutch people are so like entrepreneurial. It's like insane. Like for me at 19, 20 years old from the UK, like there was no one my age doing that type of stuff. I feel like, why do you think Dutch people are so good at like business and ecom and like, because especially if I go on Instagram and I look at anyone who's like smashing it on ecom or like entrepreneurial, literally like 80% of them are Dutch.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Yeah, it's difficult to say, but I totally agree with you. Like everywhere I go, there is like whatever place, Bali, Dubai, Marbella, where we are right now, everywhere there's Dutch people. And I just think because it's quite a small country, So people tend to move to like the bigger cities. Loads of people know each other, and there is just quite a lot of Dutch entrepreneurs or like gurus that went crazy viral with doing ecom or doing any business model really. And since everybody knows each other, everybody knows things quickly, things go super quick in our country. A lot of people start copying each other. Like, he lives a good life, I want to try that as well. But if there is like a real reason or like a real thing behind us Dutchies or whatsoever, I don't know. But yeah, it's just such a small country. Everybody, I've got no.
And I would say you're very hardworking. Like, all the Dutch guys that I know are just, they love to grind.
Mm-hmm.
And like, bro, like, I honestly, I'm not even just saying this, but out of all the Dutch people that I know, every single one of them is successful.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that says a lot.
Yeah.
So, right, now you're 20 years old, you've set up this new office with a couple of your friends. What is the business that you're, an ecom business?
Yeah, so I started with dropshipping in September 2019. That was just like a shitty back then. It was just like reselling clothes, reselling certain hype products, just anything. And you just build a basic Shopify store, and then you just learned meta ads, through advertising through Facebook and Instagram. And then we just tested loads of products every single day. Everything that picked up or that worked, we just scaled it to the moon. And that's what we did for like the first 3 years. I was going to the office together with my business partner. I also lived with him. I started living with him after like 6-7 months of running our business. And then I just went to the office every single day, the whole day, and we just worked. And the thing with dropshipping is that for us, at least, I know a lot of like super consistent. I don't know actually, but for us, it was super inconsistent dropshipping, because you're constantly chasing hype products or like certain products, but everybody can sell them. So once you are super successful with selling a product, everybody jumps on that product. So it was not really a business model that I really liked, but in the world of e-commerce, we really like developed a lot. So I started selling on marketplaces, like a local marketplace called bol.com. I've done that. I've sold on Amazon. I've sold on like other Eastern European marketplaces. In Romania, for example, one is called emag.com. That one is a really good one. And in those first 3 to 4 years of my entrepreneurial journey, I've literally tried everything, like trading Forex. I've had a Forex affiliation business, all of those marketplaces. I started e-commerce brands. I started YouTube automation as well. Like, I've really tried everything until the point where I am right now. I don't know if you already want to dive into that, but now I'm doing a couple things.
Wow. So this is something that I really want to talk about, because this will help so many people whenever they're watching this. So everyone gets that kind of shiny object syndrome. They want to do dropshipping, they want to do ecom, they want to do Forex trading, they want to be creating content. They want to, as you said, now like people are doing like clipping on WAP or whatever it's called. Like, how I always tell people the best thing you can ever do when you're starting out, especially when you're young, 19, 20, 21, is try lots of different things and basically acquire the skills that it takes to learn how to do those things. And if you don't enjoy doing it, or if you don't find any success with it after, I would say honestly, anywhere between like 3 to 6 months, if you're not having any success or you're not enjoying it, then just quit and move on to the next thing until you actually find something that you're truly passionate about. But so after you did all of that stuff, what did you have the most success with after the drop shipping?
What I had the most success with after the drop shipping financially, and I think also like as a skill, is sales. And that's something I'm still doing right now. After my 3 to 4 years of drop shipping, like it went really on and off. Like, we really had crazy months in which we like turned, like we did over $1 million in revenue. And we have also had like periods in which we had like 3 or maybe even 6 months of like only losses, no revenue, testing products and not making any money. So it was really stressful. It was really difficult. And for the people that do ecom, they know like cash flow is super important. We lived a nice lifestyle. I've always traveled basically. I had an apartment, I had a car, all of those things. So after 3 or 4 years of drop shipping, my business partner and we had to pay our taxes, and we couldn't pay it because Klarna had a specific amount of money from us. PayPal had so many disputes, so they had some money in a hold of us. And I remember we had to pay like around like 40K in taxes, and we only had like 20K on our bank account at that moment. So we were really stressed. We're like, yeah, shit, what are we going to do right now? And I was always like pretty good at like communicating, talking, I was like quite a social person if I have to.
Yeah.
and that's when my business partner and I were like, yeah, we need to make money quick because otherwise we can't pay our rent, we can't do our things. So my business partner and I, we learned everything around sales closing, high ticket sales, because that one of our friends that I'm still super close with and actually work with today as well in like in like a sales team. I'll explain that in a minute. He was doing it. And he taught us everything about sales, about closing. And then I was learning it. And for me, it went like pretty fast. I was pretty getting good at it. My business partner, it was not really his thing. So then we sort of split paths. We still work together. We still worked together back then as well. And I went fully into like sales. And he started focusing on, or kept on focusing on our ecom business just to keep that going and to try to get that back on track or where we want it to be. So I fully dove into sales. And that was the summer of 2022. And I still do that. I don't actively do sales calls myself that much anymore because I'm in the team that I work in. I'm a sales manager right now. So I hire high ticket closers, sales reps. I train them and I build that team and I'm fully responsible for that sales team. But I have been a closer for 1.5, 2 years, no longer.
Wow.
2.5, 3 years actually. Yeah. No. 2.5 years. And that's where I learned a lot of skills. I've spoken with thousands of people. I've closed a lot of deals. So my English has really developed because it was mostly in English. And that's like the most valuable skill. That's where I made a lot of money as well. And that's also where I grew my network the most. Because in that offer that I'm a sales manager for right now, it's a big e-commerce offer. We're with a team of like 70 to 80 people. And that's all big e-commerce guys, really good sales guys, really good appointment setters, really good marketing guys. Most of them are Dutch. Like I would say 90% of them are Dutch. So that's also how I like know a lot of like e-com Dutch guys. And obviously also people that I have closed or people that are in our community. Everywhere I go, if I post it on social media, there was always people that I've closed or people that I've talked with.
Really?
People from my team that respond like, hey bro, I'm going to be there next week as well. Let's meet up, this and that. So
that's sick.
Yeah, that's sick. So I would say to answer your question, the biggest thing for me was sales. It's a super valuable skill to have, to learn how to talk, to learn actually sales is not talking, it's asking the right questions, but to learn that skill. And that's for me what really has been like the change from like this with ecom to much more consistent growth. And also for me mentally and in my business, more consistent growth. Meanwhile, as of today, I'm still doing ecom, but my business partner is fully responsible for that. So last time I made an actual Facebook ad or anything like that has been like years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. So sales has been your stability for like consistent income. And it's also been the way that you've made the most money. Mm-hmm. So you've had the most success of sales. Yeah. So let's break this down because I always tell people, like, for example, when they join the Creator Club and they don't know what to learn, they don't know what to study. As I said, like lots of people, especially young guys, they're confused. There's so many options, like there's so many courses and they don't know what to study. But as you said, sales is probably one of the best skills you could ever learn because you learn how to communicate, you learn how to talk to people, you learn how to persuade people. So let's break down sales. I don't want to spend like all the time on you talking about sales because I feel like you've got a lot more to offer. But for those who are looking outside of like our industry, obviously we know how this works. Like I have to do sales, you have to do sales. So like in order to be a closer, as you said, first there's normally like a step-by-step process in a kind of sales role for anyone who's starting out. So can you break it down for us just quickly, like the steps? So like, do you start as an appointment setter or is there a step even before an appointment setter before? Like, so I guess it goes appointment setter, then closer, and then sales manager where you're at now. Is there a step before appointment setter?
It depends. Some people, they go down the route of indeed appointment setter, closer, sales manager, and then maybe eventually like their own offer. Like loads of my friends actually that I know are good closers. They started teaching people how to close, how to do sales. For me, the path was I started directly with closing because appointment setting is really something I don't really like because it comes down a little bit to freedom. You have to.
What is appointment setting? So just
good question. Yeah. Appointment setting is basically that you're in the inbox of a person or a business that sells a service or a product, or could be anything. You're in their inbox. So that could be a DM, it could be email, could be in a Discord, it could be anywhere. And you're basically answering questions, answering emails, answering messages that business or person receives about their business or about anything. So you're basically just taking care of, it's kind of like customer support. I don't really want to call it like that because it's actually a skill, because you build a relationship in the DM, for example. Let's talk about DM for now, because that's the most common thing.
Okay.
DM setting. Someone reaches out to you, for example, and says like, hey, Louis, I'm interested to work with you. What does it look like? Then someone talks out of your name, and some people decide to keep it under the name of Louis. Some people decide to keep it under the name of a colleague of Louis. Hey, you're speaking with a colleague of Louis.
Okay.
And then you just talk to the people, ask them questions like, hey, who are you? What do you do right now? Why are you interested in working with me? You sort of build up that relationship. You build up a certain connection to make that person more interested in what you are selling, whether it's a service or a product.
Exactly. So as well, because you're asking those questions, and again, like, I don't have anyone in my DMs, by the way, just so everyone knows, like, whenever you speak to me, it's me. But like, you're asking those questions because you care about that person.
Mm-hmm.
Or again, if it's someone in the DM, you want to make it look like that you care about that person. So then you can help them eventually with their problem or whatever it is that they're struggling with. And hopefully your product or service solves their problem.
Yeah. So the main goal for a DM setter is just to get them on a call, build a connection, get them a little bit hyped, and get them on a call.
Okay, nice. Easy.
Yeah.
But as you said, that then you have to work, I guess, certain hours per day. And if you're working for someone who has 1 million followers, thousands of DMs, you could just be on the phone all day talking to these people.
Exactly. Yeah, you need to basically always be on and active. At the end of the day, as an entrepreneur, you always have to be on and active. But that's what I like about being a closer. If I don't want to close a whole day, I just turn off my agenda, right? And I'm free that day.
Exactly.
Like, there is more flexibility. And the more I've closed, obviously, I got more routine than that, and more I wanted like more freedom. That's also one of the reasons I became more of like a sales manager, because I know everything about sales. I've closed so many deals. I like to more like strategize right now and help other closers and build up a team. But to get back to your initial question, how do you get from being an SDR, appointment setter,
to
closer to eventually sales manager? If people want to become the best closer, or if people want to become a very good closer, you could start with being an appointment setter. I wouldn't really recommend it. I would just recommend to start looking into it first. Look at people like Alex Hormozy, Jeremy Lee Minor, Cole Gordon. I could name a couple of my Dutch friends, but I'm not going to do that. But look at those people. They've got super valuable information on YouTube, super valuable content. Just look what they are talking about. I would say like watch like a good couple of hours of their content. And if it's content that you're actually interested in, then you could consider, and that's something I would always recommend. I would also recommend to just invest in yourself. Like everybody also in my DMs are always trying to find like the easy way, the cheap way. Hey, how do I make money without doing anything or without investing time or money? That's just not how it works. So after you've checked their content, maybe one of those, they're all people that also sell courses and sell coaching. I think, I'm not too sure. I've never worked with them one-on-one directly. Yeah. I have seen some of their courses, but then I would recommend to actually invest in yourself. So you are in a community and you are surrounded with other people that are trying to learn how to close and how to do appointment setting or whatever direction you want to go into. And then one of the biggest tips or biggest tips I would give if you want to become like a closer, you see a lot of like coaching programs or a lot of coaches nowadays that teach it, and then they make you wait as long as possible until they actually sort of like want to place you at an offer or put you in the actual field. The thing I did, I really like was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to wait around.
Why did they do that?
I think because there is more closers than that there is actual positions to close. So they're just trying to sort of delay your progress because they often promise you like, hey, you'll be on an offer quick and blah, blah, blah. And they just delay your progress until you're actually that good that you're worth it to be like in a team.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, I'm not going to wait around. Like I need money. And I was already an entrepreneur for like 3 to 4 years. So I know it's all about taking action. So I made a list of like 500, literally 500. I can show you after the podcast. I made a whole spreadsheet of 500 online coaches, people selling a service, people that could need a high ticket closer. And I sent voice notes to all of them. My Instagram got like blocked, banned, all of that shit because of sending so many voice notes of spamming. So within a week, like I first learned how to close. I learned all about it. Like I did role plays, everything. And within a week of me being ready, I had like 13 offers, I think, that I could start on. And I had another friend that I'm actually partnering up right now in a different business. We can talk about that later. That's what we talked about yesterday. He's also my fellow sales manager on the e-commerce offer. He was also starting sales around the same time as me, but that was his first experience as an entrepreneur. So he waited around until he had his certificate from that coaching until they placed him somewhere. And I was already like closing, because at the end of the day, you don't have to be the best closer to actually start, to actually become better. You just need to be on an offer. Because if you're on a good offer, you will learn it there the quickest. That's just how it goes. So like with anything.
So if you are in sales and like, say for example, if someone was closing for me, my coaching offer is, say for example, the Creator Club. It's a community for content creators or people who want to improve their content. That's different from like a fitness coach or an online coach who is selling like a fitness offer. As you being someone in sales, in the sales role, you don't really have to know too much about that niche. Like you can learn all of it in the training. You just have to basically learn about what that person's offering. That's all that matters.
100%. Yeah. And that's also what a lot of people think, or like the mistake a lot of people make. Like, hey, yeah, I can't be closing because I don't know anything about Forex, or I don't know anything about e-commerce or whatever you're going to sell. But that's not necessary. I think 80% of the people in my team, the closers in my team, have got no e-commerce experience. And we're all selling an e-commerce offer. Because with most sales jobs, and this is not for every sales job, but with most sales job, it's not about the closer. It's about the person that you help, the person that's on the sales call. You want to know why they want to do e-commerce. So you ask them the right questions, like, hey, what do you do right now? You really, like, I can really dive into a sales framework right now. So, but I'm not going to do that. You dive into what they want and what their obstacles are at the moment, and why they want to transition from where they are right now to where they want to be. And you create that gap, and you fill that gap with your offer or your service. And obviously, if they ask a couple questions about e-commerce, you should be able to answer it, or whatever industry you're in. So if you're, for example, if you're selling a lifestyle or like a fitness program and you're fat, it doesn't really work, you know? But if you just know the basics, and if you know how to ask the right questions, if you know how to close, you don't need to worry about if you are an expert in e-commerce, if you want to sell an e-commerce service or coaching.
Sick. It's I think it's something that, because I don't really think you're taught in school anything about sales or even this roll-up position, but you've had so much success from it. And like, I know other guys who are literally smashing it in sales. So I feel like it's honestly one of the, if you're good at communicating and talking to people, it's the best skill I think you could ever learn is sales. And as you just said, you can sell anything as soon as you learn about the product or the service and the offer. Right. So I want to quickly talk about when you were smashing it with the sales, because you showed me like screenshots from your old calendar when you were literally like, bro, I literally did like 5 sales calls. I don't even know why I'm ill, but like on Monday, 5 sales calls in a row, back to back. Adrenaline like is pumping. And then like once the adrenaline wore off, I literally got sick, and I was like, I am literally exhausted after that. Like, even though it's not like you're just talking with strangers on a Zoom call, but like there's a lot of adrenaline because you're trying to close this, like you're trying to close the sale. Like, so when your calendar was, tell the audience like what your calendar was like Monday. It wasn't even just Monday to Friday. It was Monday,
Sunday.
Yeah, Monday to Sunday.
Like, I had this period, I think it was in 2023, just after the summer. And that's always when people like go back to school, go back to work as well, when people are more interested to sort of get out of that life, right? That's always busy months for in the make money niche for a coaching offer.
So wait, that's actually a really good point, because let's talk about this, because I always tell people when they're making their offers, like for example, fitness coaches, the best time is obviously after Christmas, after New Year. That's the best time to launch their new offer, or even like probably May when people want to get into good shape for summer. So you're saying when people go back to school, when they go back to work after the summer holidays, that's a good time to start selling stuff to people.
Yeah, if you're in the niche of you're selling a product or a service that helps people to change their life or make more money, basically.
So like an info product.
That's for us what have always been the best month. So September, October, November, I would say,
Nice.
but mostly September and October, because it's obvious. People most people have had a summer holiday. They were free from school, free from work. They had the time of their lives. And then for most people, if they have to go back to work or school, they're like, yeah, I don't want this anymore. And if you then see someone with a crazy life or someone that helps a lot of others create a good life, you're more intrigued, right? You want to do that.
True. I never thought about that. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so your calendar.
Yeah.
In these months, what was it like?
Yeah. So this was the period of September, October, November 2023. I was on that sales job, e-commerce coaching, and I was the only closer. I think someone else just came, but I was a little bit scared of my position there, and it was super busy. And I had a lot of like I was in survival mode since literally the year before that. I was broke on paper, So I would do anything to protect my spot as a closer there. I would to get as much out of that as possible, because you don't know what's going to happen. I've had a lot of times in my entrepreneurial journey, which I made a lot of money and lost a lot of money. So I did anything to make as much money as possible. So I had a period, September, October, November 2023, in which I did sales calls literally every single day from 7 a.m. in the morning till 11 p.m. in the evening. And the only thing I did was I ate 2 meals a day, and I went to the gym from 9 till 10, and that was it. So I did around, because it was 30-minute calls back then. I did if I'm not mistaken, I think 25, 26 calls a day in my prime.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah, it was
Bro,
sick.
What the hell?
It was sick. Yeah, it obviously I made a lot of money then because it's just volume.
And wait. So when you say you made a lot of money, are your commission based?
Yeah, commission. Yeah.
And are most sales people commission based?
Yeah, I would say 99% of the closers are commission based.
Okay.
In most sales teams, yeah.
And what is a typical commission? 5%, 10%, 20%?
It depends on a couple of things. For closers, mostly it's at least 10%.
Okay.
And I know some closers that make 15 or 20%. But for us, the ticket price of what we were selling was around 10K. So then 20% is really high. You make 2,000 on a close.
Crazy.
So 10% was already a good, high, fair percentage. Good. So that's what it was for us.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
That is literally insane.
Yeah.
And how long ago was this that your calendar looked like that?
Yeah. So I like the full calendar, actual 7 days a week, 7 till 11, sometimes even from 6 till 11. That was I think a period of 6 to 8 weeks. So from mid-September to beginning of November, 2023.
2023.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. This is a big lesson for if you go on Levi's Instagram, by the way, you'll see best life, Cape Town, Bali, Amsterdam, living the dream as a 25-year-old. Nice watch, nice cars, the dream that every young guy wants. But what you have to understand is this did not come easy to you. He's been in Ibiza last week. Now he's in Marbella. Next, he's driving his car from Amsterdam to Marbella next week. So he gets to live the good life, but this did not come easy, bro. Nobody understands, bro, until they've done that work. 7 till 11 of sales call, every day, back to back, is exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
But the money you made in that time, as you said, when you're on the wave, you have to ride the wave and just, if everything's going well, just stick at it and put in the grind. But so many young guys don't understand, as you just said, people message you, oh, what's the easiest way to make money by doing nothing, basically.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of looking for a cheat code on how to make money. And anyone I know who has been successful, they're successful because they know how to grind, they know how to put in the work, they're disciplined, they stay locked in, and they don't get distracted. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably the biggest learning lesson that I've learned from you
100%,
now.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what makes me respect you so much. And Levi's 25, and I'm not being patronizing, but you're a big inspiration to me, bro. Really, it's insane. So you were doing you were doing these sales calls, going to the gym 9 till 10. You still do that now. That's part of your daily routine. You always have that time free. And then basically, once you were locked in on all those goals, how many other guys, just so that people can understand like how big this kind of operation is, how many other sales guys were there on working like alongside you?
Yeah, so back then in 2023, I was the only one, and someone else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, someone else just joined. That's why I was like so protective of my spot as a closer there, because I wanted everything for myself. Like a little bit greedy, of course, but
such a good opportunity though, just to clean up, and especially
true.
if you know, if you've got that much experience on the sales calls, you're already you know the product inside and out, and you've probably heard every single excuse of why someone doesn't want to buy or why they can't buy. Or
I've had it all.
Yeah,
I think I haven't really checked, but I have had thousands of sales calls, so more than tens of thousands of objections. So I've heard it all, and I really recognize certain types of people. There is a couple, like, we don't have to dive into that, very sales specific, but there are certain types of people. I really recognize them straight away. So I know always what's behind an objection or what's behind someone saying a certain thing. And it's really valuable in life and business in general.
So how did you learn this, like basically on the job, or did you have, how did you get the sales training in the beginning? Yeah,
good question. So in the beginning, my friend helped me that was into closing, and I followed the course. So just a video course on how to start closing. And that's when I started closing. But I'm really a fan of like investing in myself. I've had so many coaches, not only in sales, but in any like e-commerce. I had loads of coaches, YouTube automation, Forex affiliation, personal branding, all of it. Like I always get a coach. So I've had a couple of coaches in the 3 years that I'm a closer right now. So I started quite quick, like I said, because I want to like take action, just get started. Because at the end of the day, that's how you learn the best in actual practice. But in the meantime, I never stop investing in myself. I actually have this rule. I don't always stick to the rule, but I'm trying to at least invest in a coach every 6 months. And in anything that I do at that moment, or if the opportunity is there to learn something new, even.
Wow. Yeah. I think as well, this is another huge lesson, especially for the younger guys and girls listening to this. Like, so many people think they have to go to university and study for 3, 4, 5 years and invest crazy. Like, most people don't even think about the amount of money they have to spend to go to university. Levi decided not to go to Levi, which again is taking a slight risk, but rather than spend all of that money on university, like hundreds of thousands, investing in mentors who are maybe between 1K to 5K to 10K, who are experts already in the field. They've done the work already. You've seen the results that they've got. They're a few steps ahead of you, and you can learn directly from them. As you said, you're only 25, and you've already worked with lots of coaches in different areas and aspects of your life, and look at the success you've had. I think that says so much about how important it is to hire mentors and coaches who have already got the results, who are already living the life that you want. And if you can learn from them direct, it's the fastest way to progress, I think, in whatever area of your life it is.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I often have these conversations with my old friends that still go to school, or with anybody. I have went to college twice, which costed a couple of thousand. Yeah. And I'm really so pro. I'm not pro not going to school, but I'm so pro like investing into a mentor or an actual coach instead of just a baseline or like a base type of study. Because so many people pay 5K, 10K a year for a study, and what do you learn in 1 year of school? Whilst I rather pay 10K for a coach for 3 months that really like drills me in a specific discipline or in a specific thing. I have invested multiple times those amounts, and it made me much more. I don't want to like talk about like numbers and stuff, but like so much more, and it taught me so much more. I'm really like a big fan of that.
And also think like I finished university when I was like 24. Most people finish, depending on how long they're studying for, 23, 24, 25. You've already been in the real world for like 5 more years than everyone else, and experience. And like, yes, of course, bro, like, again, if you want to be an entrepreneur, it is high risk. As you said, you had all the success of dropshipping, then you had to pay the tax bill, and it is like this. Like, obviously, if you want just a stable life, then go and get a normal job. And if you can't handle stress or you can't handle high pressure, then just get a normal job. But you're not going to be able to live. You can't say like, oh, I'm jealous of Lou, I'm jealous of Levi. How do they get to live this life when we're the ones that are just taking the risks and putting ourselves out there?
Yeah.
Fuck, bro. It's literally insane.
Yeah. And I just know, like, to go a little bit deeper into that topic, about like working harder, discipline, blah, 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 blah. I just know that I work harder than 99% of the people that are in my DMs or people that want to have this life as well. I just know it. Like, I posted this story the other day before I went to Ibiza. I was like super busy with work. I had a consistent screen time of the past weeks on my laptop. So not on my phone, my screen time on my phone, I want to have it low. But on my laptop of like 10 plus, like I think it was 10 and a half hours a day, like of consistent work every single day. Also in the weekends, like Saturday, Sunday as well. And people are not willing to do that. And I understand, because most people don't know where to start, or don't really, if you don't know where to start, it's hard. And if you're doing something that you don't like, it's also hard to put in those hours. But that's why you need to go through these phases of trying a lot of things, making a lot of money, losing a lot of money, investing in yourself, good coaches, bad coaches, all of it, to eventually come to a more stable point of where you found something that you actually enjoy, something which you want to put in 10 plus hours a day. Because I have been putting in 12 plus hours a day with the sales calls, and trust me, it made good money, but I was not enjoying that. Yeah. Not at all. I had no life.
Yeah, this is good. This is a good one. So this is, I would say, a struggle for a lot of people. How do you, like, when do you know when to stop with that? So, like, you are obviously like 10% commission, making good money, back-to-back calls, probably a very high close rate. How do you decide, like, okay, this is actually like exhausting or tiring or boring, or I'm not enjoying it anymore? And then like, but you're making good money. How do you decide that, okay, I need to change this, or like what? Because a lot of people like do something that they hate to make lots of money, and then eventually it leads to them being like unhappy or having depression or taking drugs, drinking alcohol to kind of numb themselves from the fact that they're doing something that they hate every day. So how did you just like basically get yourself out of that situation?
Yeah, out of like full-time sales, basically. Yeah. So I was doing sales from September 2022 until January 2024. Full-time, all in, every single day, lots of hours. Even apart from those 6 weeks that I was working 13 hours a day, I was still working every day the whole day. But then I had more time for dinner, or had more time to watch something in the evening, something like that. But I did that until January 2024. And then I was in Marbella, actually. I left from January 2024 till June 2024 in Marbella. And one of my friends visited me, and he's also super good at sales. I've never worked with him. He's one of my old friends. He's one of the friends that also started the business back in 2019. He is super good in sales as well. And he said to me, bro, you've got so much experience with sales right now. You've got so much entrepreneurial experience. I've hired loads of people. I've fired loads of people. I can do more, and I am worth more than just being a closer. There's no disrespect to a closer. Like, closing is a super good thing to do, and super like high level. Yeah. But I had more in me, and I felt that as well. So I started thinking, that really like made me think, and I was like, yeah, I know that I'm doing too much sales calls right now. I know that probably the quality of the sales calls could be better if we focus more on building a bigger team, more structure, build out SOPs, more training. We invest also with the team that I lead right now. We also invest in coaches for the whole team. I actually organized a mastermind beginning of this year with a very good sales coach that flew from Spain to Amsterdam for my whole team. So I knew if I went into that direction, it would benefit the business. I could focus more on things that I like a little bit more, which actually like helping, teaching, training people. Yeah. And I could do a little less sales calls, because, you know, I've been there. I've done that. So that's when I reached out to like the owner of the coaching, and I said to him, bro, I've got a proposal. I've got an idea. And I came with a whole growth plan, like a whole business plan for him, what I wanted to work towards, what I wanted to build out, what I wanted to do and change in the business. And then I went from only being a closer to a sales manager, which gave me like a percentage. I got paid out a percentage of the total revenue that we achieve. Wow. And funny thing, from that moment until right now, the amount of money that we make per sales call. So this has nothing to do with like the volume of the amount of sales calls or the total revenue, but just the quality of the sales calls has more than doubled. Some months even tripled compared to when I was doing everything on my own, like super hectic.
Wow.
Like the quality has gone so up with investing into coaches with the team, training like new coaches on my own, people taking more time for sales calls instead of like rushing through them and just trying to be quick. And yeah, that's just insane. Like it's been really good for the entire business. It's been good for me because I could do more of what I want and less just doing sales calls like a robot. Because trust me, if you're doing 25 sales calls a day, the 25th people that you talk to, you're going to have less energy than the second person that you talk to. So it's just been a very good decision. So I've been the sales manager now since January 2024 until today. And I love it. I run a team of 14 closers. I love it.
It's crazy. Like for you to just be like, this is not sustainable, me doing all these calls, and then to pivot it and actually hire a coach, train more people. Like it's not even your business, but you had like, I don't know, just the intelligence to be like, this is a better way to do it. I'm going to hire a coach. I'm going to hire closers under me, and we're going to train them to make them the best possible. And then you have 2 to 3 times more success. Like, bro, like it's crazy, but you only get to learn all of this by being in the trenches, as people say, like by actually being there and doing the work. Obviously, bro, like you're super, super intelligent, which like I realized yesterday at dinner, I was like, fuck, Levi is like so intelligent, switched on. But that's literally insane, bro, because there's so many people who would have just in their heads just been greedy, being selfish, and be like, I'm going to keep closing all these sales until eventually they burn out or they start fucking it up and then start losing sales. But you had the intelligence to be like, now there's got to be another way to do this. So when you took on that role of sales manager, did that, like, were you making as much money as when you were doing all the calls yourself, or were you making more money or less money?
In the beginning, I was still closing quite a lot myself.
Yeah.
Because I can't just like fully stop with doing 15 sales calls a day and hire like 5 people at the same time. So I was slowly like stopping, like not stopping. I will never like fully stop with doing sales calls. I want to always like fuel the leads, be in the trenches a little bit. But I was slowly doing a little less sales calls and hiring a little bit more closers. So financially, actually, the amount of money I made like back when I was really grinding and right now was always like quite the same. But it just feels nicer for me to be part of how much the business makes and also be in management calls and think along with some marketing strategies, think along with everything that's going on in the business instead of only doing sales calls. Because right now I'm like a manager. I talk with the managing group every single week. And I'm really like strategizing more. Because at the end of the day, I'm not an employee. I'm not a closer. I'm not just a sales guy. I'm an entrepreneur. Everything that I've learned in Ecom, everything that I've learned in all the business models that I've done, I have applied in being a manager right now and into everything that I will do in the future. And that's also why I always say like it's never bad to invest in a coach or try a business model and it sucks or it doesn't work, because it's impossible to do something and like not learn anything from it.
Exactly.
It's impossible. So I kind of forgot your question.
Yeah. Well, now as well, you being kind of on the board and having been involved in all the meetings, and as you said, like even listening in on the marketing strategy, that gives you an even higher skill set for whenever you eventually move on to something else. So you're acquiring so many more skills just by being in that manager position than if you were still just sitting on calls all day.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is fucking sick. So also another thing that I want to pick up on here, because I think this is also super helpful, is I've noticed that you seem to always like, it could be seen as networking, but like I always talk about like your friendship circle is so important. Like it can either fuck up your whole life or make you a winner. And you always seem to be around good people. You have lots of good friends who you start businesses with, who you go and rent offices with. Like, how have you found these friends? Like, or for someone who's watching this, what advice could you give to someone who's looking for friends who you've been surrounded like entrepreneurial, hardworking, disciplined?
Yeah.
Like, how does someone find those types of friends?
Yeah. I'll first dive into how do you, or the type of advice that I would give, or how do you find like the right people around you?
Yeah.
And I would do 2 things. first is like put yourself out there, and you don't have to like start vlogging or start like fully focus on your personal brand, but at least don't have an Instagram without a profile picture and follow 10 people, and don't expect if you reach out to someone then that they're going to reply, because it happens to me often and I don't know who you are. So at least put yourself out there a little bit, show a little bit about your life, so that if you reach out to someone or if you want to connect with someone, they know who you are, and they, like, most people really want to help you. And the same with like in actual life, if you see someone that you look up to, or if you see someone that you know from online or whatsoever, just never hesitate with reaching, like walking towards them, like just say something nice, tell them that you respect them, and that you look at what they're doing, and everybody will love that. Yeah. And that's two things. Then the third thing is basically the same as the second thing, but just online. Like, just reach out to people. Just do it. Like, send a DM to someone that you look up to, or someone that you watch their videos or whatsoever, or someone that is doing what you would want to do. I love it when someone reaches out to me. I don't always reply or whatever, but I try to as much as I can. Sometimes people just send a stupid message, then I think like, hey, put a little bit more effort into it. But some people really like show respect. They show like vulnerability, and then I send them voice notes of like 2-3 minutes explaining what I would do and giving them advice. So that's what I would do if you want to like grow your network a little bit more. Like, make sure to put yourself out there and to just reach out to people and go to places where those people are. Then how I did it is a really funny story. I was quite lucky with being Dutch, being in e-commerce, and buying loads of courses and coachings, because that's also how I grew my network in the very beginning. Then how I went from like knowing quite some people in e-commerce to knowing quite a lot of people in e-commerce is this app during COVID. It's called Clubhouse. It's insane. Like, the people that are listening to this that I still work with today, they will know every single night in Clubhouse we had this e-commerce talking group. And we were like, it was like a sort of, like a FaceTime call, or like a phone call with like 50 people at the same time. And we were always hosting them, so you could decide who you put on the top to talk. And then we were sort of like building a friend group a little bit out of Clubhouse. I still have people that I work with today, or that I talk with every single week, that I know from that app that I've never seen before. And it was all entrepreneurs. Wow. Yeah, it's really funny. Like, we were always joking around there, talking value, and then just like we were actually becoming really good friends. And loads of them I've never seen in real life, never even seen their face. So that's how it started a little bit. Wow. But that's just putting yourself out there. Go to places where other people are. Like, I've heard about Clubhouse in a Discord of a coaching program that I was in. Yeah. There I met a lot of friends, and then afterwards, obviously because of the e-commerce coaching, I've really grown my network with talking to loads of leads, closing loads of deals, people becoming successful with Ecom because I closed them, like loads of people that I'm in super good contact with, that I had a super good, passionate, vulnerable conversation with about how they hate their life and want to have a different life, and now they're living the life.
I think that's so fulfilling for you.
It's insane, man. It's insane. Obviously, there is always two sides of the thing, because there was also people that I've closed that don't get successful, because you got to put in the work, you got to make the hours, you got to be willing to sacrifice. But the people that have really made it, it's just so sick. Then they started with me, and that's also why I feel as a closer, you have got this duty to be the best at it, the best version of yourself, the most healthy, the most fit, the most helpful in a sales call, because obviously you want to close for your own commission, but you also want to close for them. Exactly. You want them to invest in themselves and change their life. Because I've had loads of people crying on a call about how much they hate their life and how much they want to change. And it's insane to like close a deal because you're good at sales. And a lot of people say, yeah, you push them into it, blah, blah, blah. You don't push anybody into a deal. You ask the right questions and you want them to make their decision themselves. Yeah. And then if they come to a place where they have dreamed of or what they have talked to me about in a sales call, it's just the best thing there is. But to get back to the topic, from Clubhouse, obviously I joined that coaching program, and that's how I closed a lot of people. Loads of people that I closed became coaches in the program. Loads of coaches, like the 2 head coaches actually in the program, I knew from Clubhouse. So that became like really like a close friend group for me. And out of that friend group, I always meet with people when I'm traveling, because everybody goes to the same places. You know that as well. Yeah. When it's like January, February, people go to Cape Town. When it's like October, November, people go to Bali, Dubai. Like all the online entrepreneurs, they go to a little bit the same spot. So you always meet people there. And And right now, my real close circle is people from the coaching program, my own closers. So my own team. I'm really close with a couple of closers in my team that I see like nearly every day. I've got this one guy that I've traveled with last year, like all the time. I was more with him than with anybody else.
Yeah.
And I also saw him every day in sales in coaching calls. So that's how it was for me. Yeah.
Wow. So I think a couple of things there to focus on. So for those who, as Levi said, just outreach, like messaging people, like that's one thing that I always did. Like when I was like a fanboy of like Mike, Rob, whoever, all the guys that I've worked with, I was initially a fanboy, and I would like all their pictures. I would send them messages saying like, I love your videos, I love your content, whatever, like always in a like fanboy role. And then eventually the way that I kind of broke that barrier from just being fanboy to actually working with them and then becoming best friends with them is I went to their in-person events, like their masterminds, their talking events, like any chance that I could to go and meet them in real life. I always just bought the tickets, took the flights or whatever, so I could actually meet them in person, so they could see who I am. As you said, if someone messages you, they've got no profile picture, you don't know what they look like, you can't really trust them. It's a bit just weird. So it's always nice to meet people in real life. It's always nice to be able to see who you're talking to. Another thing I would say is if you are outreaching to people, like, and you're wanting to get into ecom or you're wanting to get into content creation, I wouldn't aim at the people with millions and millions of followers. I would aim at people who are at the lower levels and try and learn from the guys who are on 20K, 50K, like smaller followings, because they're going to have more time to give you rather than those people who do have millions, because they're probably just going to ignore you. So like, again, and whenever you are doing outreach, like I would always say to try and offer people something in when you are talking to them. So like, if you have a skill, if there's anything you could do, it could be like copywriting, it could be ads, it could be, you might be good at photos, videos. Whenever you actually outreach to someone, offer them some value in return for their help too. Mm-hmm. And like, this is why it's so important that people who are stuck, confused, they hate their life, the first thing you need to do is learn something that you can provide value with and offer your service to someone in exchange for something different. So this leads us on. I literally haven't asked any of the questions, bro. You've literally been smashing it. But you, again, even now, you're still not stopping. As you said, you invest in new courses every 6 months. You've now just recently bought into an AI course. Again, we don't have to talk about exactly what it is you're doing with it, because people will probably steal the idea. But last night it blew my mind. So how did you decide to invest in an AI course?
Yeah, good question. So the sales job that I have right now as a sales manager, the offer at the moment is not at its peak. So I had some more time on my hands, and I would never like sit still. I can't like enjoy a couple months holiday, or a couple weeks holiday. Obviously, if something happens, then and I'm not that busy for 3 days, I can enjoy. But if it's weeks or months, then I'm not doing that. So my fellow sales manager, who also had more time because we're in a little bit of a dip, he found that guy from the AI course, and it's building an AI agency. But immediately from the beginning, we fully like went all in on it, and we really like made it our own way, and a separate business, so a new business that we are starting right now with that through that course is that AI agency. And what we do is that we've got a team of 4 right now. Me, my business partner, the other sales manager, the brother of my business partner, who is a data scientist. So he's really like a genius with anything to do with computers. Like he's been a hacker. He works for like a big bank in the Netherlands. He can do or build anything. So we've got him on board. So and then we also have got someone on board who is a friend of mine, like just a recent friend, and who's like just super, like he's the opposite of the brother of my friend. He's like, he didn't go to school, nothing, but he just knows everything about computers as well. Like he's just learned everything himself. And what we do is we focus on accounting firms. We build custom growth plans for them based on conversations that we have with them. We can dive into the sales funnel if you want, but based on the conversations that we have with them, we build a growth plan for them. Like, hey, if we were in your shoes, this is what we would do. This is how we would implement this AI tool. This AI tool we would build ourselves. This is the connection or the automation or the workflow that we would build to connect certain things in their business to either save them time, save them money, make them more money, just make their life easier. And that's a new business that I'm building right now. That's going on for like 2 months right now. And we're actually like closing our first deal this week. So it's super exciting, super promising. It's really going very well. And I'm really happy that it's a little less busy with the sales job, since now diving more into AI, in the world of AI and automation, I just see that it's so sick. It's so sick.
It's crazy,
bro. It's insane.
And as you said last night, like, you sell them the AI tool once, then it's in their business forever, and you charge a monthly retainer or whatever just for that tool to run itself in the business. It's literally so sick.
Yeah.
Anyone who's like making AI automations and tool, like, I'm pretty jealous of. As you said, like, again, this is the difference for Levi, is like, he did that course and then he took action with it straight away. Like, bro, that's what so many people fail to do, is they buy a course, then they sit on it, they probably don't even watch it. They spend months watching it, so none of it's actually getting like digested or going in properly. And then they are like, oh, now what do I do? And like, they look for someone to tell them what to do. Yeah. Whereas you, bro, like, in 2 months, bought that course, studied everything, and then immediately implemented it into helping another business. Yeah. Save time, save money, save resources.
Yeah. And this is a little bit of an ego thing, but I think it's a good thing. Every course that I buy or have bought in the past, I always want to be like the best student. I always want to be the best student. And there have been some shitty courses, there have been some good courses, but I just always want to be the best in anything, really. And that's also nice about starting a course. You see like the people that join every single day, like they introduce themselves in like communities and stuff. So if you see someone that's joining after you and smashing it within a month and you are not, I just can't have that. I just can't have that. So that's also like a good thing. It's not only about the course or the information that's in there or the help that you're getting. It's also about everything around it. You know, I just love it. I love getting help, like investing in those things.
It's a good way to be.
Yeah.
Right. We've only literally got 5 minutes left, but I want to ask, I didn't get to ask anything, but
it's not a problem.
This has been so, bro, I've literally learned so much. Like, it's literally insane. It's blown my mind. So I really hope everyone else has enjoyed this, because I've literally learned so much. Couple of final things. Just, I want to talk about like your daily routine. I also want to talk about like girls, relationships. We'll cover this quickly first. So a lot of young guys as well get very distracted by chasing girls, and especially when you're young, successful, handsome like you. How do you,
like us?
Yeah. How do you basically stop yourself from chasing girls and getting distracted and caught up in that?
Yeah.
In that type of
way. Of life.
Yeah.
It's hard, man. It's really hard, and it's something I definitely struggle with. But I'm just I've got friends that are actually struggling with like girls that like look good, and they have a nice life, and they just waste so much time with like seeing girls every night and sleeping in and that shit. I'm luckily more disciplined with that, and I just I like to be with one specific girl. I'm seeing one girl right now, and I just want someone that is on the same level as me, someone that doesn't want to like go out for dinner every night, doesn't want to party every single day, doesn't take much of my time really, because I'm working on things for my and potentially our future, you know. And obviously when I'm like fully single and stuff like that, I am seeing girls, or I am chasing girls, because we're all a man at the end of the day. But I never ever like go on dates, never go on dates. So if I'm meeting someone, it's like coincidence, or it's just like the way it goes, you know. Like, often, you heard the story yesterday as well, often girls like chase me a little bit more than I would be chasing them. So I never go on dates. I really try to not see any girls like during the week. I never see girls anyway. In the weekend, maybe sometimes, but I just and this is with everything in life, with partying, with girls, with everything that we all know is not directly going to benefit your progress or your business or wherever you want to go. I just try to be aware. And if you're aware of like, hey, okay, this girl, she's really nice, I know her, we have a great connection, but I've got a busy day tomorrow, I want to go to bed early, I want to go to the gym, I want to work, if you are aware of that's going to be the result, then you're already like pretty far. And I'm just super aware of all the consequences and all the results of my actions. So I just barely like see any girls.
Such a
Yeah.
Levi's way better at that than me, because bro, like when I'm not with Cindy, my girlfriend, and I'm like locked in, like set out where I was doing 75 hard in Bali, like every day up at 5, 6 a.m. When I'm with Cindy, bro, like go to bed at 1, 2, wake up late. Like, as you said, if you can just say no to that distraction and have self-discipline,
Yeah.
like girls, for every single guy, doesn't matter how strong you are, like girls are our weakness, and like they will distract us and put us off track. Even if they're supportive and caring and they want to help us, like you just get comfortable when you're with a girl, and it can just slow you down. Like skip gym sessions, skip runs, all of that stuff. So whenever, like obviously you've been seeing this girl for a little bit now, like how do you spend your time, like working, like how do you schedule her within your time and your calendar?
Well, it's actually super easy since we both live in a different country. So I rarely see her, and it's still like really like not big at all. I've not seen her multiple times, but it's getting kind of not just dating, you know? So it's easy, man. I only see her in the weekends, and then we fly to each other, or right now we're together in Marbella.
Nice.
And that's it. Like if we're together and I'm busy, and that has happened once, but obviously also in these busy times, like during the actual hard times, which I told you about, like 2023, when I was doing so many sales calls. Back then I had a girlfriend. Yeah, there was no time. Like,
and then she wants your
attention, but like, I just know what I want. I just know what I've been through. I've really lost a lot of money. I've really like went through hard times. That's never gonna happen again. It's just impossible. And if I am with a girl that wants too much of my attention, or is not seeing that vision, or it's not respecting that, then it's not gonna work out. Because at the end of the day, I'm doing this for my future, but also the future of all the people that I love and all the people that are around me. So I'm talking a lot with my friend, my business partner with the AI business, and the fellow sales manager. I'm talking a lot about this with him because he has a girlfriend. And I'm a little bit lost what I was going to say. I forgot what I was going to say.
No, but so if he has a girlfriend, how does he differ from you? Is he similar to you? Or?
Similar like me, really similar like me. He has got like loads of like little arguments with his girlfriend because she wants a lot of his time and he only wants to work. But what I was going to say, it's a way of showing your love as well. Not like love for yourself, but also love for that girl that you're with. I feel like it's, I don't know. The girl also keeps me in track sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. It stops you from getting distracted.
Yeah.
It depends. It's a hard thing for like any guy. The number one thing a guy needs to focus on is just like his mission, his purpose. And then like, of course, spend time with your girlfriend whenever you're not working, and give her time and attention whenever you're not focused on grinding and building your own thing. But like, you can never like just go off your path or change your course for a girl. Like, you just have to be focused as a man. Like, a girl's going to always respect you so much more if you just say, this is my plan, this is what I'm doing, and you can either come along for the ride or not. But I'm not going off my plan. This is what I was like destined to do. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I love to do. So you either like it or you don't, which is exactly what you said, which is sick.
Yeah.
Okay, final. I know we're just wrapping up, but final couple of questions, because I'll just do like rapid fire. Number one, you've been in Cape Town, Bali, Marbella, Amsterdam. You've been traveling the world, work remote. And where is your favorite place to spend time and work remotely, or is it everywhere? Like,
my favorite place is Bali.
Yeah,
I just love it there. It's not the best place to work. It is a good place to work though, because for example, I've been able to work Ibiza is not a good place to work.
No, I know that.
But Bali is a good place to work, not the best place to work, but I just love the routines there, the restaurants, the food, the gyms, the people. It's just amazing. So Bali is definitely my favorite place. And I love Marbella. Marbella is also, it's got everything, just like Bali. Like, you can really like be calm, focus on yourself, focus on work. Weather is great, loads of great people. So those are like the two top spots for me. But the best place where I work is Amsterdam, because it's my home. I don't see, like I was talking about this the other day with someone. I've had periods, like days in a row, like literally last week or 2 weeks ago, that I have only seen people online, that I just am on my own. I wake up, I work, I go to the gym, I don't talk to anybody, I train alone, I go back home. I on the way, I get my food for the day. I just work. Obviously, I'm in calls for work, but I don't talk physically to anybody for like days in a row. And I only realized that last week. I have that in Amsterdam all the time, but it's good. Like, I'm okay with that, because then sometimes when I go to Ibiza or go to Marbella, then I'm overwhelmed with being in a villa with 33 people, and then it's fine to be alone again for a while. So that Amsterdam is just, for me, home. It's the best place to work.
Nice, that's sick.
Yeah.
Final question. Because I know like you're super disciplined, and again, this is another reason why I admire you so much, because you have a really strict kind of schedule and routine. So just quickly take us through, very quick, your kind of daily routine on like a work week. Yeah. What time do you wake up? Gym? How do you eat? As you said, right now you're in a fasted state. So am I. My stomach's rumbling. What is like, because in order to work how you work, which is like long hours and super focused, like I feel like your routine, your daily routine adds a lot into that. Or if you have a bad daily routine, bad habits, that can also, you can't work to your best ability. So what does your like daily routine look like on a work day?
Yeah. For me, my daily routine is, I think, the most important thing there is. And doing that sales job and also renting an office in 2020 were two very big things that contributed to my daily routine, because I had to like go to the office, and in the sales job, I had to really be disciplined with my time. My time was super valuable back then. Every 10 minutes was important. I couldn't waste time because I had people waiting for me. So what my routine and a normal week in my life looks like at the moment, Monday to Friday is always the same. So I wake up every single day around 6, 7. I try to wake up as early as possible, but it depends on what time I go to bed.
Yeah.
I never really set an alarm because I wake up early from like on my own. I do some deep work from 6 or 7 till 9. At 9 in the morning, I've got a team call with my closers, a day start, we call that. After that call, I go straight to the gym. After the gym, I go to the supermarket. I like to get my stuff every single day. I don't know. I just like that being part of the routine. After the gym, I make my breakfast, a shower, get ready. Then I work from 12 till 3, more like calls and more like, not deep work, but more like calls type of things.
What is your breakfast?
You like that one, huh?
Yeah.
My breakfast is every single day, 8 eggs, a banana, an apple, and then I take my supplements as well. And now recently I've got a little bit of a guilty pleasure, which is kind of healthy. I like dates. So I don't go on dates, but I eat dates.
Yeah.
I eat 1 or 2 dates every morning for breakfast. That's insane. I love them. So yeah, that's my breakfast. But then after breakfast from 12 till 3, I work. Then I have my lunch, also like super healthy. I eat the same thing every day. Then after my lunch, I work again from like 3/4 till 7 or 8. And like in the past weeks, as I'm starting a new business, I've been super busy. So I've basically been working from 12, like in midday until like 10 in the evening every day, because I just have too much work to do. And then I just eat 2 or 3 times a day, and that's it. And then in the weekends, I'm a little bit more chill. Because I play football every Sunday, so sometimes I play football on Sunday and I have a little bit more of like a chill day. I love watching football or have Formula 1 on, or like right now tennis, Roland Garros is going on. I love to have that on the television and then just have my laptop on my lap and just work a little bit like in more like a chill environment. So I like to do that on a Sunday. I cannot not work like a whole day because I hate that, but I like to work in like more chill vibe. And then mostly my days look quite the same in the weekends. I tend to go to bed a little later, or I might see friends at 4 p.m. So I work like half a day, but it's quite boring. Really,
it's the grind. That is the grind. That's how you get to live this life.
Yeah.
Nice. So final question. What does let's just say that in the next 5 years, you're 25 now. I'm 31. I'm nearly 32. So by the time you're 30, what do you want your life to look like?
Wow, that's a deep question. That's a good question. Yeah. I want my life to look like, I want to work just as much, but I only want to work on things that I really love, that I'm really passionate about. I haven't told you this, but I just acquired my first pieces of real estate. I bought 2 pieces of land together with my brother in the Dutch Caribbean. It's a place called Curaçao. So I really like that, like getting more into that world, and I want to do more things that I like that, or with sales, or with building that agency that I'm doing right now. Who knows what I'm doing in 5 years, but I only want to do work that I love to do. Everything that I hate, I want to outsource it. So I want to be busy the whole day, still have a strict routine, but that I'm going to places or going to meetings or I'm working on things that it makes me so happy. Because right now I'm still sometimes doing things that I don't like, which is part of the grind. Like you have to sacrifice. You can't be doing like my ideal life would be like playing football on the beach every single day. But that doesn't make me free, or that doesn't make me money, right? So in 5 years, I want to invest more in real estate, only work on things that I actually love to do, everything that I don't want to do, which is also part of the business. I want to outsource immediately. I want to have a happy family. I want to have like a solid girlfriend, who knows, maybe my wife, that I'm happy with, that I'm content with. I do want a lot of children in my life. So I hope with the girls, everything goes well and I find the perfect girl for me and I can start building that family. And then after that, because that's when I'm 30, after that, eventually I really want to like, once I get my children, I want to really like spend a lot of time with them. So nice. I'm grinding right now so I can spend a lot of time with my family in the future. And still, I want to be free. Like what we talked about in the beginning of the podcast, if I want to move to a different country, I'm going to move to a different country. If I want to travel 3 months with my family, I want to travel 3 months with my family. That needs to be possible. And that is possible and that will still be possible then.
Nice.
So that's my goal.
That was absolutely sick. Bro, honestly, like I feel so happy. Like I feel super inspired, bro, by you. Like literally, that was one of the best podcasts I've ever done, bro. Like
Thank you.
Absolutely smashed it. Everyone go follow Levi. What on Instagram, Levi?
Yeah.
What's your handle?
My Instagram is my name, Levi van der Waarden. So you write
Spell
that.
It out.
Yeah. LEVIVDWAARDEN.
I'll post it at the start of the podcast and I'll put it in the description. So everyone go follow Levi. And I'm sure if you have any questions for him, he'll be happy to send you a 2 or 3 minute voice note. Hold him accountable. But bro, honestly, that was literally amazing. I feel like I'm on a high after this.
Yeah,
like you've really inspired me, bro. Like that was so interesting. So thank you so much for the time. And then bro, like we have to do round 2 because I didn't get to ask anything that I had on my list. But there's so much more we could have talked about. But that was fucking sick, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much too, bro. I really appreciate your time. Sick. And on to part number 2.
Part number 2. Let's get ready. Thank you.